Hello, 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 everybody. Let me know if you can see and hear me clearly, and if you are where in the world you are tuning in from. Now, today we are talking about the modes, and most people think that the modes are complicated. They think theory heavy, confusing, only for advanced players. Well, we are going to be proving that completely wrong here today. What I'm going to do today is something different to anything that you've ever seen before on the modes. I've seen all the lessons out there. There's nothing like this. 45 minutes from now, you'll be playing all of the modes on your guitar. I'm going to give you jam tracks. I'm going to give you a whole bunch of tools so you can just go and use it and sound great. Let's just jump over here because I want to change your mind on what it takes to be a great guitar player. Okay? Because I'm going to show you how this stuff is just absolute BS. Like any complexity is absolute BS, okay? But I do need to tell you, you will not master the modes today. I'm really sorry to tell you that. You will not, you right there, you will not master the modes today. And the reason for that is that, that does take time. But what I can do here today, okay, is you will see, hear, and feel them, and you will sound awesome, and you're going to be using them all, okay? You're going to be using them all, okay? I tell you that. You're literally going to be using them right here today, okay? And you're going to be playing them on guitar, and also I'm going to give you all the tools to have a lot of fun with them. So even if you decide not to come with us to actually get complete mastery of the modes, I'm literally just going to make sure that you think that this is possibly the best guitar lesson that you've ever had, okay? Now I know I'm hyping this up, but that's for good reason, because I have delivered a crap load of results for literally millions of guitar players. I know exactly what it takes to make something click, and I'm going to do that for you here today. If this is your first time ever experiencing a live guitar mastery method, listen, I want you to put this is my first time in that comment section as well, okay? So, I'm going to give you a path to master the modes over the next few weeks if you decide to join us, but that's absolutely optional, only if I completely deliver here live free for you here today. Okay, so if that sounds fair and you're ready to go, then just put a yes, I am ready. And so let's kick into gear. Now, does this image look familiar? Have you ever felt like this with your guitar playing, specifically with the modes, okay? Have you ever just gone, oh, I just want to get this thing. Why is this just not clicking, okay? If you've ever felt like this, I'm going to be able to take this feeling that you can see, right there, all of that, and today, we're going to change that feeling, okay, like this. Nice, cute little puppy dog, okay? That's what you're going to experience here today, okay? It's a nicer feeling, right? Okay? So it might sound crazy, but this is how you're going to feel about the guitar modes, right here today, all right? You're going to play the modes today. You're going to see, feel, and hear how simple they are, okay? Now, the modes are I'm going to call it stupidly complex thing. And the reason why they're stupidly complex is because they're actually not complex. It's just the frame of mind that you want to be using, okay? So what do you see here? Tell me what you see here in this image, okay? So there's two different things, okay? All right, so some people saying a duck, some people saying a rabbit. Yep, absolutely. And so if you saw the duck first, can you shift your mind to see the rabbit? And then if you saw the rabbit first, can you shift your mind to see the duck? All right, now here's one that's a little different. Okay, this is, the picture of, what do you see here? Tell me what you can see here. All right, so there's the old hag and there's a young woman. So exactly, it's that the woman is looking away and the hag, the old woman, is facing here, okay? So you can see here, if we look at the old woman, this here is her eye. Okay, we've got an eye over here, this big wart on her nose, big giant nose, mouth, huge giant chin. Okay, and then we can flip it, and then we can see that this is also a gorgeous, beautiful young woman. You can see that this is actually her ear. Okay, that is her nose. Okay, this is her chin. Okay, now you notice that the picture didn't change. The way you looked at the picture changed. The picture didn't change, the way you looked at the picture changed. And that's what I want you to be thinking about as we step into the modes here today, okay? So, one thing I also want you to be thinking about here is that this right here is this lesson on the modes like yesterday we spoke about the moods, okay? We spoke about the moods. Modes should just be called moods, okay? Because that's all they are. They're just different moods of the same thing, okay? Same human, like just how you're the same human being, you get different moods, okay? Same thing. Now, music isn't complicated. It was just explained in a complicated way, okay? So the reason why it was explained in a complicated way is it's almost like gatekeeping, okay? Now, the reality is that these terms, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, all the stuff that sounds super complex, it's not complex, okay? They're the names from the Greek modal music system, okay? And then when the church started using it, they were like, hey, let's just use these names. The names aren't even the names of the Greek modes. It's something completely different. So that should tell you that it's just utter BS to start with, okay? Now, music, like other professions, has its own language, okay? So the reality here is you know exactly what it's like when you have when there's a doctor or a lawyer and they've got all these super fancy words that just mean simple stuff, right? Like they've got like a 10-syllable word that just means car, right? And it's designed to gatekeep you, okay? It's designed for precision, as they say, but instead of just saying car with a flat tire, they're going to come up with some other weird term. That's what's happened in music, okay? So Greek names, complex language, other total BS. You just need it translated to you in plain English. And that's what I'm here for, okay? The reality is that there are only 12 notes in music. Literally, that is it, okay? 12 notes in music. There are things called octaves, which means, you got a low A note, you got a high A note, you got an A higher than that, but there are only 12 notes. So anytime that you ever think that something is complicated, anytime you're sitting there staring at a piece of paper and you're like, oh, I just want to make sense of this, why can't I? Just remember, it's probably because someone's just made up some utter BS complex language around it. There's only 12 notes. All you need to do is just know the relationship between those 12 notes, okay? So if that sounds easy, then I want you to put in the comment section, this sounds easy. This sounds easy, okay? Because that's how I want you to feel it, all right? This sounds easy. All right, now, I want you to grab your guitar. This is gonna be super fun, okay? You wanna make sure that you have this sheet of paper that I have been mentioning the whole time, okay? The way that we're gonna be doing this here on the guitar is we're gonna be using these notes here. These are the notes, okay? E, F, G. The reason why I've color-coded them, the only reason why I've color-coded them is just to make them a little bit easier for you to see, okay? So E, F, G. If you can memorize this, if you already know this, then cool. But even if not, you've got this here, okay, right in front of you. Now you notice that, that the sheet of paper is designed so that if you're looking down at it, it's like this, okay? So it's like you've just laid your guitar on your lap and you're just looking down at it. And then that allows you to look at that sheet of paper, look up your guitar, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, okay? So, literally, this is all we need. E, F, G, and then up here, A, B, C. Okay, from the 5th fret, and that's why I've just put the 5th fret thing right there on that piece of paper for you. A, B, C. And then we have this D note up here, all on its lonesome. D. E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Okay? Now, there are sharps and flats. We're not using those today, okay? They can get out of here. You don't have to know any theory. You don't have to know any scales. You just have to know where these notes are because these are the only notes that we're using, okay? Now, the other notes that we are using is the same notes, okay? They're just higher. And bear with me while I just chuck that in the right spot, okay? So the thing here that I want you to be paying attention to is that I just want to get this exactly right for you guys. Just bear with me 1 second. If you are cool with that, because it's kind of important that the notes are in the right position, right? If you agree that it's important that the notes are in the right position, okay. So you can see here that these notes up here repeat, okay? So it's literally E, F, G, is like this. You can hear how they're the same notes. E, F, G, okay, here, A, B, C, okay, B, C, and then we have D on its lonesome all the way up there, okay? So, if that makes sense, put a yes in the comment section, okay? It should make sense because I'm literally just showing it to you right here, Okay, yes. Okay, very easy to follow along. Now I'm going to leave these notes up like the whole time. So E, F, G, A, B, C, D. If you want a tip on how to memorize that, okay, so that you can just be playing this all night after we finish here, remember the first three, E, F, G, E, F, G, E, F, G. If you can remember that, then you're good. Then come back and memorize this, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. And then just remember that you got D note here on its lonesome, okay? And then it just repeats up here. E, F, G, A, B, C, D. All right, so if you've got that and you have a piece of paper, then let's jump in to writing some stuff down. Because there is and if you don't have this piece of paper here printed out, okay, that's okay. Just grab a piece of paper and a pen because we're going to start playing the guitar in just a moment. Okay, so where it says major, I want you to write the word sun. Major equals sun, okay? Right there, like that, okay? Major equals the sun. I want you to write that down. Now, I'm going to explain what I mean by major equals the sun. You'll see that we have here, if you can hear that, tell me what that sounds like. It's a C major chord, okay? Now, if I just play these notes, okay, I'm going to get that sound effects, that track here just a little bit lower so you can hear the guitar a little clearer. Okay, tell me what the sun does for you. Tell me what the sun feels like, okay? It's bright, right? Pleasant, uplifting. I can see that's warm, yes. Sunrise, hope, okay? Yeah. Warm, happy, bright, okay? Now, if I just play these notes, I'm going to start on a C note, okay? Okay, how does that sound to you? All right. Bright, happy, warm. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, and this is all hopeful. Okay, so this is exactly right. So you'll notice that with that feeling, okay, that is literally the major feeling, okay? So don't think about the modes, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, don't think about that. We're just talking about major and minor here, okay? So major equals the sun. I want you to be thinking about that. Major equals the sun, all right? Now, as we go here, minor equals, you guessed it. If you didn't guess it, I'm sure you're about to, the moon, okay? So I want you to be writing that down on your piece of paper. Minor equals the moon, all right? So I want you to be thinking about this. I want you to tell me in that comment section right now, what does the moon do? The moon represents night. What is in night? Okay, how does that feel? Okay, it's somber. It's dark. I can see these flying through here. It's darkness. It's sleep. It's okay. It's okay. So it's spooky, fear of the dark. It's mysterious. Okay, it's a little bit more emotional. It's moody, solemn. Okay, mystic, mysterious. Okay, romantic. Oh yeah, these are good. These are good. Okay, so now what will happen here is I'm going to show you this. I'm going to play the exact same notes, but this time I'm going to start at an A note. Okay. All right. Okay, so how does that sound? Tell me how that sounds, how that feels. Okay, different mood, right? Okay, so again, we got this. It's the exact. You see, it's the exact same notes. Okay, and so we're just talking major and minor here. Okay, so again, major. All right, minor. Melancholy, someone said, okay? So you can hear that, right? Because the reality here is that if you can hear it, you can control it, okay? Now, I'm going to show you something here, okay? Remember I said the modes should be called the moods because they're just different moods, all right? Well, check this out, okay? I want you to skip right down the bottom here where it says same notes, different, and then I want you to write this, home. Same notes, different home. Because all I did was just play the same notes. I just started and finished on a different note. That made it a different home, okay? And you're going to be joining in with me very soon. So now here, where it says Ionian, okay, guess what? Major and Ionian. Ionian's one of the modes. Major is Ionian. Ionian is just a different word for major. Some absolute dipstickle decided that it was better to call it Ionian. Isn't that ridiculous? Let's just call it major. I'm not sure if you can understand it because my handwriting can be somewhat terrible sometimes. But the key thing here is, do you see how simple that is? Like already, okay? And then we see here, I've already covered it up, but Aeolian, okay? Aeolian, different word for, and then I want you to write minor. And if you just got pen and paper right here, just literally Ionian, different word for major. Aeolian, different word for minor, okay? So I'm just going to chuck that in there. So there's the reference PDF, the direct link, okay? So literally, if you don't have a piece of paper, you want to get this, okay? So you see, you've got that, okay? Now, literally, that's all it is. That's all there is to it, okay? So you see that, like, when it comes to the modes, okay? Major and minor. If you know major and minor, you actually already know two of them. Isn't that cool? All right? So what we're going to do now is experience the other modes, okay? Because they are other moods. So there's one that's like kind of like the ugly cousin that no one wants to talk to, Locrian. I didn't think it even deserved much. That's why you'll see a tiny little mention down the bottom. But that's it because I'll give you a demo. You're probably not going to want to do it. I've got a backing track for you if you want to play Locrian. But there are some other ones, right? Not all modes are equal, okay? I want you to write that down right now, okay? Not all modes are equal, okay? And what that means is that some of them you're going to use more than others. In reality, you're probably going to use major and minor more than you're going to even use these other ones. But Dorian and Mixolydian are the other two modes that get used the most, right? But here's the thing, all right? We're going to start getting into these other modes. What that means is that I'm going to give you a demo, but because we're going to be using different stuff here, I'm actually going to take these off, okay? So I'm going to chuck on this track right here. Okay, you can feel that. Vibing along. Okay, I'm going to get that volume up just a little bit for you. Okay. So we're going to be jamming along here. Okay, I'm going to give you an example of a different mode. All right, so you get the vibe of that, okay? Now I'm gonna play one of the other modes, okay? Completely other modes. I'm gonna get this one out. I'm going on a trip now. Okay, so do you feel the difference? Okay, tell me if you can feel the difference between those two. If you can feel the difference, I can see some yeses flying through. Okay, so I just used the exact same notes. I just used the exact same notes. It was just two different modes, two different moods, okay? And I'm going to prove it to you because I'm just going to bring up these notes right here again that have now disappeared out of my view. Okay, here we go. So check this out. I'm going to do the exact same thing, okay? Look, we'll go straight back to this one. Mystical. All right. So you can see that. All right, and then now again. All right, you can feel that, right? It's like completely different, but it's the same thing. That's how simple the modes are, okay? So we're gonna be getting you to be playing all of these, okay? So if you're like digging this and you're excited, make sure your guitar's all tuned up and then let me know in that comment section if you are ready to jump in, okay? If you're ready to jump in, we're gonna be cranking this very, very soon, okay? Because there are 7 of these modes and I want you to experience every single one of them, all right? So let's jump right in here and we are going to go right here. I want you to write this, okay? Now, this is a gross oversimplification of the modes, okay? I'm gonna exaggerate them all. And the reason for that is so that we can get them to be working, okay? Of course, you can make some major stuff kind of sound like, you know, a little bit more melancholy. You can make minor stuff kind of sound aggressive. You can do all sorts of stuff, okay? But wouldn't it make more sense just to get all of the modes in under your fingertips and to get a feel for like how each of the modes can sound and how they all sound a little bit different? If you answered yes to that question, then awesome. That's what we're here for, okay? So right here, I want you to see here. You got this picture here, right? Now this is a silhouette of a guitar player. If you think you can guess who this is, if you weren't here yesterday, then if you were here yesterday, don't give it away, okay? But this right here is the one, the man, the myth, the legend. I'll give you a clue. His first name is David. And his last name is Gilmour. Okay, David Gilmour uses the Dorian mode a lot. And this is what you want to be writing here, okay? Under this here, D is for Dorian, is for David Gilmour, all right? Now, do other guitar players use Dorian? Of course, lots of different guitar players do. But the reason why I'm telling you D equals David Gilmour for today is that's what I want you to be thinking about as we step in to be playing Dorian. So I want you to be grabbing your guitar right now, okay? I can see all of you guys, looks like you've got them there, okay? So, okay, this is fantastic. All right, you ready to jump in? Let's go. I want you right now to be grabbing on to the 10th fret on the high E string, okay? The 10th fret of the high E string, right here. Okay, and then of course we have another D note up here. Okay, so this is a D note. So we're gonna be in Dorian. Okay, we're going to be in Dorian here today. All right, now let's go. You're gonna experience this live with me. I want you to step into an alter ego. I want you just right now to type in the comment section, I am David Gilmour. You're gonna see exactly why I'm getting you to do this. Type, I am David Gilmour, okay? I want you to like literally just let go of reality for a second and literally pretend like you are the man, the myth, the legend, David Gilmour. Because that's how you're gonna really be able to express yourself through this, okay? So you're not you, you're David Gilmour. You're a badass. You can get emotion out of the guitar. Everybody wants to just pay like thousands of dollars to come to your concert to hear you play one freaking note because of how soulful you can make it sound, okay? Literally, I want you to be stepping into that frame of mind, all right? Now, I'm gonna give you a couple tricks here, okay? You see how when we have these two notes together, I want you to be doing little half bends, which means we're gonna be bending it up as if we're wanting it to sound like that next string, that next fret up, okay? Like that. and here, and of course up here. And then what we can be doing is bending it up and releasing it, and then coming to here. I'm going to get that track just down a little bit so you can hear the guitar just a little bit more. All right, so I want you to start playing along with me. Just playing any of the notes, okay? Just trust your ear. Trust your ear, it's going to find the right ones. If you start walking up, you're going to know if you should keep going or you should stop. Be playing along here with me, okay? Oh, you got an extra note in there for free. Okay. Do you feel that? Okay. If you're ready to jam with me, I want to do a call and response jam with you. Okay. So just type the word jam in that comment section for me. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. All right. I'm going to play something and then you play something. I'm going to play something and then you play something. Okay. So as a call and response. Don't talk the whole time. No one likes someone in a conversation who's just going to keep talking to them. You want to play something and then stop and get out. Let me do it. And then you go. Okay. So here we go. Here, I'm going to start. Now you play a lick using just these notes. I can see you guys. Okay, you ready? Now stop. Now you play a lick. All right, just using these notes. Okay, now back to me. Okay, now you play a lick. Okay, and back to me. We're going to finish it up. All right. Tell me in the comment section right now how that felt. Did you feel like David Gilmour just even a little bit? Did you feel like you might have got like the sound of David Gilmour in there? Cool, amazing, fun, awesome, good. Yes, yes, dude. This is amazing. Okay, great. That's the frickin' modes, people. Okay, you just played Dorian. And someone's still saying that I'm David Gilmour, okay? So, good God, yes, it was awesome. Okay, emotion, right? Look, how cool was that? How cool was that? I'm going to give you that that drone track. Okay, now the cool thing about the drone tracks is that you can just like, you don't have to worry about any timing or anything like that. You just literally just flow, okay? So, now what we're going to do is we're going to step into a different world, okay? Now, you guys, if this is like your first session, you're probably going to think like I'm just some complete utter nut job, which is awesome because I freaking am. Okay, I'm so passionate about this, by the way, if you cannot tell. So what I'm going to do right here is, for this to really work, I want you to put a switch, flip a switch in your mind. Okay, so first of all, you see here where it says Phrygian. Okay, I want you to write this. I want you to write the pyramid. Okay, so the thing here is, again, this is like a gross simplification of the modes, but what this is doing is it's getting you in the frame of mind, the right frame of mind for it. And then underneath it, I want you to write the desert. Okay, because this is the world we're about to take you to, okay? Phrygian, the pyramid, the desert. We're about to go there. Okay, so Bill's asking what key are we supposed to start out on? You're not worrying about any keys here, buddy. Not at all. We're just playing just these notes, okay? you're going to experience all of the modes right here. I don't want you worrying about any keys. I just want you to be experiencing what we're doing here, okay? Literally, I want you to start out and finish, okay? If you want to be like musically correct, on an E note, okay? Now, of course, we have an E note here, open string, back here, and we have this note here. Now, you'll notice that each mode has like its favorite ways to be played, okay? Its favorite sort of ways to bring out that color, bring out that flavor. Now, the way that we do that, Ken has said, it's life-changing stuff, and believe me, you're gonna love the rest of this session. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do here, okay? I want you to be really using, where the two notes are next to each other, I want you to really be using that and doing like going up and down, here, here, and here, all right? I want you to be doing that. That's how you're gonna really get into this. Now, we're gonna jump straight, I'm gonna just play a little bit, and then we're gonna go back and forth, okay? But we're gonna step into a different mood, a different mode, all right? So for that, what I need you to do, okay, and remember that I can actually see, if you guys are here on Zoom, I can actually see you all, okay? So just bear that in mind. So I want you to follow along with me, okay? Look, here's the thing. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to feel the track before you even play anything, okay? Because if you just go playing with the mind, it's just like, you know when you're eating a meal, and it's like you need a palate cleanser, okay? So we need to have this new track, we need to step into the feeling of this next mood, okay? So close your eyes, I want you to take a big deep breath in through your nose, and then just feel this track for a minute, okay? Big deep breath in. And imagine you're standing underneath a pyramid in the desert. Step into that. Think how it sounds. Think how that would feel before you even start playing. Okay, and then onto the fretboard. Let's go. All right, now you play a lick. Okay, and then remember call and response I'm in. Now you can use what I'm playing as inspiration, or you can just do your own thing. Keep going. Okay, this is Phrygian, this is the pyramid, this is the desert. See you all playing along there, fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna play one more lick, so stop, listen to me. Stop and listen to me. Now you play it and you're gonna wrap it up. Okay, so tell me, how did that feel? Tell me how that felt in the comment section right now. I'm in the desert with a horse with no name, okay? Loved it, okay, fun, okay. This is like snakes, very nice, hot, awesome, good, badass, thirsty, crazy, great. Okay, so first of all, like, how did that feel? How did that feel underneath your fingertips, okay? Now, I want you to know, like, notice how like, it just sounds so different, okay? Unbelievable, okay? That's what someone's just said here, okay? That is fantastic, okay? This is literally how cool the modes can be. Now, I'm going to take you to another place, okay? I'm going to skip over Lydian. We're going to circle back to Lydian. Remember how I said that the two modes that you get used the most in you know, rock music, right? You know, like rock and classic rock and blues music and stuff like that is really apart from major and minor, Ionian, Aeolian, whatever, you know, complex name, utter crap, is Mixolydian. Again, a complex name, but it's the only one I got for it. So here what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a wild ride, and we are going to, I want you to write this on that sheet of paper right here, jazz and blues club. All right? That's what I want you to be writing for Mixolydian, Jazz and Blues Club, okay? That's the place I want you to step into your mind, okay? Now, the reason why I want you to step into your mind and go to the Jazz and Blues Club is because it's not just the Jazz and Blues Clubs, it's the Jazz and Blues Club on a Saturday night. Everybody's feeling fine, everybody's feeling funky, the band is just jamming, the laughter is just flowing, and everyone's having a fantastic freaking time. You're there, you're the lead guitarist, you absolutely rock, everybody's there to see you, and you're just having the time of your life, and you're fresh and you're buzzing, okay? So again, I want you to take a big deep breath through the nose and then just feel that, okay? Big deep breath through the nose, and then we're gonna start out on this note right here. We got the G note here, and we got a G note up here, okay? So that's the 3rd fret and the 15th fret, okay? And then you might notice as I'm jamming, I'm gonna be playing a couple of other notes here, and if you want to stick around, I'll show you exactly how to play that lick and exactly how to use those notes to make your own licks and sound super musical with this, okay? Now, while you are doing this, if anybody's going to hear you play, they're probably going to just be like walking past, and like someone said yesterday that their wife like heard them playing and was just like, what on earth was that? How could you just do that all of a sudden? Okay, so here, big deep breath, close your eyes, big deep breath through the nose, Jazz and Blues Club, okay? I want you to feel this, Jazz and Blues Club, Saturday night, everybody's pumping, okay? Seriously, just have your eyes closed and just feel that, okay? Watch out for the secondhand smoke, someone's just said. Okay, now grab your guitar and just play these G notes to start with. All right, now we're gonna start jamming. Now you play. Just use just those notes. Remember, I'm going to tell you how to get. I'm going to show you how to get that other note there. And I'm just going to get that G string a little bit. Oh, wrong. A little bit better in tune. Okay, keep jamming. Keep jamming. I'm coming in. And notice there, I'm just playing the same 3 notes up and down from that G. Have a go at that. And then down here as well. All right, keep going, keep it going. Keep that feeling. All right. Tell me about that. How did that feel? Okay. Did you feel that? Did you get into the mood of that? Did you get into the vibe of that? Okay. Tell me really how that felt. Did you just surprise yourself? Did you just like, oh, wow, like I can actually sound awesome. I can see that was fun. I was grooving. Wow. Okay. Just like R&B at the Apollo. Definitely fun. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Felt great. Okay. You are a magician, okay? No, you're a magician because you are playing this right here, okay? This most funnest, and this thing is you're going to resonate with, with some of these moods and modes more than the others, okay? It's just, is what it is. So you get to decide which ones that you want to be playing, okay? You might be wondering, okay, so is it just a backing track that's kind of making me feel this way, okay? Now I'm gonna prove to you that it isn't. Some of these modes, you just need the drone to like kind of express it. But then, for instance, we've got the big fancy production to kind of get it to feel so you can really step into that. Okay, so if I go back, for instance, and we go back to the desert, okay? We've got this guy here. Now notice here. All right, now if I swap that out just for a drone, you can still hear it. All right, so you can hear how that is still like. All right, that's the power of the modes. That is the power of the moods. I'm gonna get you to feel Lydian, okay? Now what you'll notice with Lydian is that it feels like you're floating, okay? So you'll notice here we have this space here at Lydian. I want you to write the cloud and then whatever word you want to represent like weightless or floating, okay? So I'm gonna put floating, okay? Now, what this feels like is this. I want you to take a big deep breath through the nose, okay, again, and then before you play anything, I want you to feel the track, okay? So we're gonna be in F Lydian, so we're gonna be starting out on this F note, okay? Now, as we are going through this, I want you to be, again, thinking Lydian, okay? So it's the cloud, it's floating, okay? Floating up in the air, all right? So, this is the note here we're gonna be starting on, and this is the note here, okay? So, let's go. Let's step into Lydian. Big deep breath through the nose. And just feel this for a minute. Before you play, just feel it. Because the backing is what's going to change this. Okay? Now I want you to put your first finger on the first fret. And then start moving around. So, you can see some people here like asking, like JD, no, we're not going to do that. We're just going to get people to experience it. That's all we're here to do. I want everyone to experience the modes, okay? Experience this one. Now you notice with this, what's really interesting about Lydian is that it's all about floating, okay? You notice there's like this inherent like searching feeling, okay? Think Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, okay? The song, right? Think Joe Satriani, think Steve Vai, okay? That floating feeling. Now you're gonna notice that this one isn't, it's like, it is this hopeful feeling, okay? But it's like you're not really connected to anything. And you know, the other ones where we can really just lay in, okay? Just watch this, as we go up the notes, okay? Just notice it's like, it feels like I'm still looking for somewhere to land. To that F note, it's playing the F chord right now. It's like I'm still floating. I'm still up here, right? I'm still up here. It's like you're like you're playing down here, and then as you play, you start floating up. Now, if I can just keep going, that'd be cool. But anyway, just start playing around. be playing around. How does that feel? How does that feel? Let me know in that comment section. Lovely, sexy, says Paul. Floating, says Rich. Okay, so you see how, do you think that you might have an idea of wonderful come? Do you have a feeling of like how you think Lydian might sound? Okay, what you might want to be using that for if you wanted to solo, okay? So Lydian often gets used for movie soundtracks, okay? And moving around, and then Joe Satriani's got a song called Flying in a Blue Dream. Why do you think he used Lydian for that? Okay, because it gives that floating feeling, okay? That dreamy floating feeling. That's what we have here, okay? And then so if we just, of course, right now, we're playing this like super floaty thing, right? And then so we take that out, and then we go like this. We're gonna go back to the club. Okay, join in, let's go. Okay, so you see how this has a totally different feel, okay? How are you feeling with this, okay? I want you to, if before today you had like a zero understanding of the modes, where do you think you're at now as far as like just getting it, as far as understanding it, okay? And then I want you to tell me in the comment section right now if you think today was worth tuning up for. I want you to rate out of 10 what you rate your experience so far. Okay? 10, 11, 100, okay, 12, absolutely, okay? 1,000, 1 trillion, okay? So I'm gonna give you guys all of these jam tracks, okay? I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna teach you how to play that lick, because then you can go this. Use those notes and play that lick too, okay? So I'm gonna be showing you that. I'm gonna be giving you more information in just a little bit, okay? But you see here, you've got this already. You've got that filled in, okay? So what are you gonna do with this? I want you to tell me what you're gonna do with this piece of paper. Are you going to keep that? Are you gonna keep that? Do you think that this might be useful to you? If you've got these jam tracks and these drone tracks, okay? So this is gonna be extremely powerful for you, and I actually have a gift. Do you think that it would be helpful for you if I was to show you that lick, give you tab for that lick, give you a diagram for that lick, and then also give you a jam pack which has all 7 chord drones for the modes and those 3 other jam tracks, the Phrygian, the Lydian, and the Mixolydian. If you would like that, put a yes, I am keen on that, because we're going to be jumping to that in just a second. Now, let's go on to this next piece of the puzzle, okay? I did see a question over here on YouTube. Could you help me with my confusion? I find it difficult to get my head around the key, maybe C major, but do I solo an F Phrygian to sound exotic / desert, F being the 3rd mode? Okay, I can tell already that this is why I'm teaching you this in this way, okay? I want you to let go of all that. I want you just to focus on here, okay? And the reason why, there's Buck Rogers. The reason why is you can see how you're feeling confused right now, right? And that's the enemy. That is the enemy. I want you to let go of that and just feel what we're doing here today. I want you to feel the modes, okay? Because if you can understand this and you can feel it right here live, then at that point, you can control it. And if you can feel it, if you're here live with me right now and you can feel the modes and you're like, okay, I get it. When I look at this sheet of paper, I've got the sun, I've got the moon, I've got the David Gilmour kind of thing. I got the pyramid. I've got the cloud. I've got the jazz and blues club. If you can feel each of those, then put it, I feel it, okay? So the thing is that as we look at this, you think about these as the moods, okay? Forget the freaking names, okay? That's what complicates things as well, okay? I can see it, I feel it, I feel it, I feel it. So imagine if these here were not called Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian. Imagine if it was just called the sun. Do you think you'd be like, oh, cool, we're going to step into that mood. I'm going to step into the mood of the sun. Or I'm going to step into the mood of the cloud. I'm going to be floating. I'm going to go to the Jazz and Blues Club on a Saturday night and have a good time, okay? That is the power in this. That is what this is all about. I can see you guys there saying you're feeling it. Okay, so Irene says, I don't know what note to start with. Don't worry about it. You don't need to know. You do not need to know what note to start with. What I need you to do is to trust that if you play just these notes with any of these jam tracks, that they're going to be the right notes. And if it doesn't feel right, then just move up or down, okay? So here's the deal. This is what I want you guys to be focusing in on, okay? So I'm going to get rid of that QR code there. Okay, so keep an eye out. Remember, this is literally limited copies available. And then so once they are gone, they are gone. I want you to play any of these notes, and I want you to trust your ear. I don't want you to be thinking, what note do I start and what do I end on? Like, I've been telling you, okay, but like, don't worry about it, okay? If you're like, still like, oh, I'm just not sure, just release it. Release it. If you just play any of these notes, okay, and I'll prove it to you. So here, I'm gonna chuck on this, this Mixolydian track, okay? Get the vibe. Jazz Blues Club, Saturday night. Okay, I'm just gonna start on random note. Does it sound good? Yeah. Because guess what? These are all the notes that are in the key. Okay? I've already done all the hard work for you. Okay? So I want you to do this. I want you to play a note, okay? And ask yourself, does it want to go up or down? And you're like, I'm not sure. And if you're not sure, then just try it. Any which direction. You can play the modes with one finger and one string. All right, if you do it one string, okay, so look, forget about the notes, okay? Anybody talking about the notes, I'm gonna kick you out. You're not talking about the notes, okay? We're just doing this, okay? We're just doing this. I just want you to feel it. That's all I want you to feel, okay? But Tony, yes, it's G. All right, now, again, we are here, okay? We're at the Jazz and Blues Club. So what I'm gonna be doing right now is I'm gonna show you this here, okay? You see that we have these notes that are in the wrong position. Bear with me 1 second, okay? These notes right here, we're gonna be playing that, okay? So I'm gonna take these off here. And you know when you play a D chord down here, like this? I want you to put your fingers in that position. First finger here, do not play these notes, by the way, because one of them is gonna be really wrong. First finger here on the second fret, the G string, your middle finger down here on the second fret of the high E string, and then your third finger here on the B string. And then I want you to move it up to here, okay? It's no longer a D chord, but it's that D chord shape, okay? Those are the fingers that I want you to use. And then you see that red line there, that's to show you to slide, okay? So I want you to play it here, and then slide up like that. And then here, on this note here, I want you to bend it up half a step. So you're trying to make it sound like you're sliding, one fret up, but you're bending it. Okay? That's all I want you to be doing. I don't care about the speed. Okay, you see you got that D shape there. Okay? I'm going to play that slow, what I'm doing, okay? I'm sliding in. Okay, then walking up that D pattern to the high string. I'm bending that up, I'm bending it down, and then I'm playing the 8th fret on the B, and then the 7th fret on the G, and then finishing up with that 8th fret. Okay, so again, walking up. I want you to make it your own, okay? So I'm going to give you a tab which shows you how to play a lick that's just like that, but then you notice how it sounds cool, even reverse? Okay, so you can be just sliding up here. Now, if we add back in our notes here, okay, we can play all of these notes, okay? So again, I'm gonna give you a lick, I'm gonna show you the diagram and everything like that, but I just want you to experience this, okay? Notice how you can use all those notes. Okay, get it? You get it? Now you can also do this up. You notice how it's over the blue notes, okay? Well, up here, you can also do it here. Okay, did you have fun? Did you enjoy it? Did you get that lick under your fingers? Do you want me to give you the jam tracks and everything like that? Okay, so we're going to get to that in just a second. Okay, everyone digging it? Everyone's digging it? Okay, do you want to hear something horrible? Do you guys want to hear something horrible? Okay, and I've asked you 2 questions, and oh, looks like you've already said yes. Okay, here we go. All right. Now you may be wondering. Okay, so Charlie, all these sound pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to show you one which is going to complete the puzzle, okay? So I want you to be thinking about this. Locrian. This is the ugly cousin no one wants anything to do with. They're annoying, they're a pain in the ass, and they're ugly, they're all that is wrong with humanity, and Locrian could be thought about as, the easiest way is just to dismiss it, okay? Like my cousin says, JT Summer. Okay, so the reason why, okay, I'm going to explain this. The reason why Locrian is not really used a lot in popular music, okay? You do see it occasionally in some jazz stuff, but it's more the avant-garde, like if someone's just trying to be super weird, okay? Now, the reason for this is that each of the other modes have what they call a perfect fifth, okay? Now, what this one here, it doesn't. So if we're playing, like, for instance, a B power chord, which just looks just like this, okay? You don't even know it's just there, it's just up here. It doesn't have this note here. It has this one, and it has this one. Okay, now you notice that none of those sound too flash. So, you know, like, for instance, we have, like, you know, these chords here. We got this. We got this. Okay? And then we have this chord here. Okay. Would you literally say to someone, hey, come and listen to this song that I made. It's in B Locrian. Yeah, if you're playing like Limp Bizkit stuff, as someone just said, yeah, you might be thinking that, okay? So, we got this here. Okay, now check this out. Okay. Now, if I start on a B note, okay, it's all spooky, right? Okay, you've got the option of that, or you've got the option of this. Okay, which do you choose? Mixolydian or Locrian, okay? So, we're gonna get rid of Locrian. We don't need that guy anymore. All right, so, have you had a good time today? Have you had a killer time today? Have you had an incredible time today? Now tell me, what did you experience? I want you to tell me what you experienced here today. Killer, yes, woo. Okay, what did you experience today? Do you feel like that you are more musical than you ever have been? A great time, that's awesome, a mode change. Do you feel like this is exciting? Modes are no longer crazy, okay? Mode madness, yes, fantastic. Easiest of all lessons I've ever had. Demystification, excellent amount of demystification. Someone came in here late and they're pissed. Variety of emotion and expressing it. A closer step to greatness. Modes are breaking me out of the cage. More fretboard free, mind altering. This is fantastic. You guys have been absolutely slaying it here today. Now, are you excited about, of course, what we are going to be doing with Advanced Fretboard Mastery? If you are joining us, then say I'm joining you, and I cannot wait because this is going to be awesome. Now, I'm just going to go over the last few little bits and pieces, and then I'm going to leave you on your merry way to be jamming along with all of this stuff, okay? Not really acoustic friendly. Shanti, you are wrong. This is acoustic friendly. If I had an acoustic guitar in this room, I would show you. It is completely acoustic friendly. You can just do one string. You don't have to do the bends. But yeah, guitar mastery method, we really do focus in on electric guitar more than anything. We're going to be focusing on acoustic summer, but if you're an acoustic guitar player, then yeah, maybe not for you. If you're an electric guitar player and you want to be learning like all of the how to solo and sound freaking cool like this, then this is what you're rocking and rolling with, okay? Okay, so I can play acoustic guitar for all, as someone said. I'm playing my acoustic. Yeah, you can totally do it. It's just that if you've got a barrier to entry in your mind, it's not going to work. Okay, so the reality is that a guitar is a guitar. As long as you've got 6 strings in the frets and it's all in tune, then this works completely. Okay. Now the only caveat that I'll say is your guitar tuned up? Is your guitar set up? Because there is a thing called intonation, and if your intonation is out, then the higher up the fretboard you go, then the more out of tune your guitar strings are going to be. So if you want to check your intonation, play your E string, for instance, on the high E string, on your tuner, make it dead center in tune. Then as lightly as you can, press the 12th fret, then play that, and then you're going to see if it's sharp or flat, and if it is, then all the other notes are out of tune. And if that's the case, you want to take it to your local music store, get that fixed stat. Right now, you're doing this on one string. Imagine how it'll feel when you can do it over the entire fretboard, okay? So, you know, if we're gonna go into like Phrygian and we're gonna get this guy going, it's like, instead of just on one string, I know you can't even see the fretboard there. And you play better than that. All right, so if you want to be able to like just have complete freedom over the entire fretboard, then I got something for you, okay? Because you've joined in here and because you've watched just this long, okay, you obviously want to improve on your guitar. Now, I know there's a whole bunch of people, especially on Zoom, who are Guitar Mastery Method VIP Club members. Now, you already have access to what I'm about to talk about here, but if you want this book, you can absolutely grab it. So here's what I'm gonna do. I have paid for your copy of this book. You understand the modes now. If you want to master them, this book will show you how, okay? Now, I have paid for your copy. Now, mine, I actually spilt coffee on it, so I'm not sure if you can see that there. So you're probably not going to want this exact one, but I have literally paid for your copy of the book. All I ask is that you cover your own shipping and handling. It's $6.95 anywhere in the US. It's actually cheaper than I have to pay to get it shipped to you. Okay, and it's like $19.95 or $29.95 depending where else in the world. But again, I'm like I'm literally paying effectively for it to get to you. Now, what this also comes with is a free 14-day trial into the Guitar Mastery Method VIP Club. So inside of the Guitar Mastery Method VIP Club, you get every single Guitar Mastery Method course that we've ever released. You get 4 live lessons per month. It's actually more than that. It's actually 8, and I'll get to the reason why in just a second. You get also Q&A sessions throughout the month as well. You get Lixie's Lick of the Week every single month, where she breaks down one of the most famous guitar licks of all time, and then we will have fun in the VIP Club community playing along and joining that. There is the exclusive VIP Club community I have just mentioned, and replays for all of the live sessions that we ever do. Now, if you're part of the VIP Club, and you, it'd be great right now, let everybody know in the comment section who's not part of the VIP Club what it's actually like, because it's one thing for me to say it's awesome, it's another thing for them to hear from very real members like you guys and girls that are here. Now, here is where this is what makes Guitar Mastery Method different, this next piece of the puzzle, okay? So I want you to pay close attention to this. This is the EMA framework. This is what we step through every single year. Okay, so what we have just wrapped up, just recently, was the first part of the mind season. Okay, so every year we go through this. So we build your physical guitar playing skills, because there's only 2 places you can improve on your guitar. One is in your head and one is in your hands. We focus on both, but we focus on them at separate times so we can really develop this out. Okay, then after you've done your exercise, we go into mind, and then we go into action, express yourself. We've got a huge amount of fantastic information. I can see this is people have been saying some fantastic stuff in that comment section. Okay, so if you want to learn guitar, you got to do this, says Sal. That's awesome. Okay, so the thing is that what we are about to begin this coming Sunday, Easter Sunday, the 5th of April, is Mind Season 2, Advanced Fretboard Mastery. Now, in Mind Season 2, we are going to be guiding you through on how to get complete understanding. You're going to master the modes. You're going to know the Nashville number system. You're going to know how to express yourself in ways that are going to have other people wondering what freaking happened, because this is going to be all happening in just 6 weeks. You are going to be experiencing this season, okay? So the EMA framework is a seasonal framework that we walk through to make sure that we can deliver incredible results. And I'm going to show you exactly what it's like on the inside in just a second. So here is everything that you're getting here, and here's exactly how to get it. You can scan that link right there, right now. We're going to be putting a link in the comment section right now. So you can go and get your free book there. Now remember, okay, complete transparency as well. You covering the shipping and handling. I've covered the book. You're getting a 14-day free trial to the VIP Club. After that, okay, if you want to stay, it's just $29 billed every 4 weeks. Cancel at any time, money back guarantee and all that. I'll get to it in just a second, okay? So you're going to see there, it comes with a 14-day free trial. If you want to, after that, you're also going to get an opportunity to grab a year's worth of VIP Club membership by save 5 months. You get 5 months for free. Okay, it's the best deal that we have. Okay, so here's everything you're getting. You're getting a Master the Modes book. Okay, literally a free copy that I've paid for you. And I'm giving this to you because you obviously want to improve your guitar playing. Okay, you get a free 14-day trial to the VIP Club, which includes every single Guitar Mastery Method course we've ever released, 4 live lessons per month, plus replays, plus all of the EMA sessions. I'm going to show you what the schedule looks like for that in just a minute. So you actually get 8, which is like ridiculous value. Okay, you get Lexi's Lick of the Week, the exclusive community, and access to advanced fretboard mastery as a VIP Club member. Okay, this is something that you want. If you want to be improving on the guitar, this is the greatest, most inspiring guitar community on the planet. And I can say that because I'm not just trying to blow my own trumpet here. I'm telling you how awesome the community is. And if you're on Zoom right now, then you can see all the comments from the people that are in the community, all right? And so if you guys here like are in here, the VIP club members, you should go to YouTube as well, and then let everyone know on YouTube how freaking much you love it, okay? If you could do that, that'd be awesome. You guys are amazing, by the way. Thank you so much. We have an absolute blast in there, and so will you when you join us, okay? So also, some of the VIP club members, this is going to be the first time you're actually seeing this, because I shared it for the first time yesterday. These are the upcoming seasons that you get to look forward to. Now, with this 14-day free trial, jump in, try out one of these, a couple of these sessions. Literally try out 2 of these advanced rep or mastery sessions, and then decide. I don't want you to decide today. If you had a great time, you might be like, screw it, I'm all in, all right? But the thing is, I want you to show up for free and then decide, because really, like, that's what it takes, okay? I want to convince you by the value that you get by being a member, okay? So these are the upcoming seasons that we're going to be doing. If you just stick around, and for your VIP club members, I know that you are very excited. I know some of you guys are saying that you're here for life, which is fantastic. Love VIP club more than my first wife. I love that. Mine Season 2, Advanced Rep or Mastery. That's what we're jumping in right now. You don't need to know any theory. You don't need to know anything before you jump in, because we get all of that covered in the Getting Started module, which all your VIP club members, you're actually getting access to this tomorrow. So we're going to be sending out an email about that. After that, Action Season 1, Expressive Soloing and Song Performance. Action Season 2, Acoustic Summer. So we're going to show you how to sound fantastic around the campfire if you're going to be hanging out with some friends or doing some family functions over the summer. Action Season 3, write, record, and release your first song. Okay, we're going to show you how to do the whole shebang. Okay, I've hit the Billboard charts with my band. I've got we've toured all around the world. We've done a whole bunch of awesome stuff. Worked with like incredible producers that have worked with like Ozzy Osbourne, Metallica, Foo Fighters, everybody. Okay, I'm going to give you all of that knowledge right here. And just a sneak peek, I might be pulling in some favors to getting people who have worked with people like that to come and teach you directly, okay? I can't make that any promises, but I'm going to do everything I can to get that. You get a 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee, okay? So what that means is you can literally jump on here today and like you could go through Advanced Rep or Mastery, like the whole thing, and then go, you know what, Charlie? You didn't deliver on this. I'm not improving on the guitar or whatever thing that's not going to happen. Okay, the reality here is, I am telling you that this is going to work, and I'm backing it up by giving you a 60-day, 100% money back guarantee, which means that you can go through the entire Mine Season 2, Advanced Rep or Mastery, and if it isn't the single best investment that you have ever made in your guitar playing, like the single best investment, if you are not completely inspired by the community, if you are not just absolutely loving your new skills, if other people aren't blown away by what you are going to be able to do in the guitar in just the next 6 weeks, then I'll give you 100% of your money back, okay? I want to make this a complete no-brainer for you, and I want to make this risk-free to you so that you get to experience this, okay? That's how powerful this community is, and you can see that in the comment section. It's, you guys absolutely rock. Like, my guitar future is here, someone says. An incredible return on investment. Lifetime member here because it works. That's so awesome, Mark. So if you guys are wondering, you're like, okay, cool, this sounds good. I'm just I'm not sure, then go to Trustpilot. Read some of the reviews down there, okay? That's you're going to see all about it. Go to gmmlink.com/book. You can grab your free copy. Again, all I ask is that you cover your own shipping and handling. That's all. It's just $6.95 in the US. For Canada and most of Europe, it's $19.95, and for everywhere else in the world, and then it's like $29.95 US for like places like New Zealand and Australia, which obviously I'm from New Zealand, but our distribution centers in the US. And then if you live in like a really weird part of the world, like Antarctica, it's like a little bit more, a lot bit more, because shipping's crazy. But I'm just going to be completely straight up with you guys. I am literally charging you less than it costs me to ship you the book, okay? Now, why would I do that? Okay, well, obviously, we're trying to get people into the VIP club because it's like this awesome thing, okay? So it's like, I want to make this a complete no-brainer. And again, like, even if you could literally just join, pay for your shipping, and then just go like, you know what, I'm out. And then you get a book for free, okay? Like, without any coffee stains, like mine has, which I'll give you a close up later. So if this sounds like something you want to do, whether you're a VIP club member already or you're just joining, I want you to write in the comment section, I'm 100% in. Now's the time. Now's the time to make action, okay? Because if you don't take action now, when will you? Complete no-brainer, okay? Complete no-brainer. Free book. And if you don't want the book, by the way, because some people are like, yeah, I just don't want the book. I just want to join. Go to guitarmasterymethod.com. I'll still give you 2 weeks free. I'll still give you a 2-week free trial. But if you want to take money from me, then scan that QR code.